Sport Build said Liverpool are interested in Jamal Musiala, what a player he is. Christian Falk on this, and then Toby as well confirmed it. So they said our stories that Liverpool are interested in Jamal Musiala. His agents are currently not talking to the club about extending his contract, which is until 2026 with Bayern Munich. Like, it's interesting really, because sometimes when certain stories come out, you just immediately dismiss them, and then you look who wrote them and where they come from, and you're like, oh, maybe something in this. Come on, like, as signings go, like, it would be like it feels like this one would be something, it'd have to be Mo Salah related or something. Is this genuine, or do you think this could be like an agent trying to get a deal with Bayern? What was your assessment when you first saw this one?
Yeah, I think we first thought would be no way Bayern Munich are going to let him go. Yeah, any time soon. I mean, he's already a massive player for them. You know, scored the goal which won them the title last year, and he's well, before Harry Kane maybe came, but he's the jewel in the crown, isn't he? You know, the star of German football. Contract situation, 2.5 years left. You know, you'd expect that there'll be some renewal coming in. I don't imagine he's on the kind of contract which befits a sort of the jewel in the crown. He probably needs that up and, but yeah, it wasn't one that jumped out and thought, oh, Liverpool could get that kind of player. It looks to me like a player that, you know, will be very, very difficult to get out of Bayern Munich, and a bit like Jude Bellingham, I suppose, would have the whole of the world trying to sign him. You know, it wouldn't be a case of, oh, Liverpool have picked up a player from Leipzig or Brighton, wherever. I would expect him to renew his contract at Bayern Munich, personally. Yeah,
I'm with you. There's been quite a few. It's mad, really. Again, it might just because Liverpool and Joe would end up talking about it in the end, but there was like an Osimhen story, and there was Sane, and there was Musiala. Yeah. Is this the world just thinking Liverpool might lose Mo Salah? Whether it's agents or whatever, trying to get more money out of players, the whole world that knows Liverpool might lose one of the best players in the world. They might have a big wage that they can spend because he's on a big wage, and they might have a huge set of a huge transfer fee to get him as well. Is this just? Do you think that is that just connecting those dots and say that's where all this is coming from?
I think so. I mean, the Sane one is interesting because obviously style-wise he isn't Salah, but he's position-wise he plays there, doesn't he? Osimhen's just a completely different type of player, isn't he, to Salah. Musiala's a completely different type of player really to Salah in terms of, again, where he plays. But Sane, you know, you don't look at Liverpool signing a player of that age, at that outlay. You know, you look at them signing, they're going to sign a Salah when they sign Salah, aren't they? That's sort of 24, 25 maybe kind of player, maybe even younger. I think there are a lot of people, you know, preparing the ground for if and when Mo Salah leaves, which probably, you know, probably next summer, you know, good chance. And that obviously brings its own challenges for Liverpool, doesn't it? It brings it with, you know, everyone knows, okay, you want to replace him, and I think you have to give credit to, for example, Spurs, what they've done with Kane. They resisted that kind of edge, if you like, to go and buy another Harry Kane. They sort of went, well, what we can do is we can move a few pieces here and maybe improve the rest of the team and
brought a centre back on the midfield.
You know, obviously they brought a couple of younger British players in Maddison and Brennan Johnson, but they didn't go, right, who's the nearest thing to Harry Kane? Osimhen, let's just go and get him.
The Man United approach, maybe?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Whether Liverpool could do that with Salah, I don't know, because he is so sort of unique in what he's done for Liverpool over the last 6 years. You know, he's been available every week, he's been top scorer every season. He continues to be hugely influential, but definitely there's going to be a few agents looking and saying, well, you know, if there's a hole there, I wouldn't mind having my client, you know, in the frame. And hence you see some of these stories. I mean, I don't see Liverpool spending all that money on Osimhen, for example. I don't see them spending all that money on Sané. I think everyone would love to have Musiala in their squad, but I think the difference with that one, I think, is what Bayern want to do, and I'd be amazed if Bayern were allowing that situation to get into one where he was to leave.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting on the Salah stuff because given who he is, what he is, I think there's a genuine thing at the moment where someone can step up and become the best player on the planet. We're past the Messi, Ronaldo era, and we were into the, you know, it might be Bellingham, you know, the Mbappe, Bellingham, all these things, and Salah should definitely be in that mix. And I do wonder the Saudi stuff, and you mentioned it possibly could be next season. We're going to get more, so there'll be this will come out in January again. Like, is there a world where, because I get it, there was, you know, the fact that he's an Arabic player and going to that part of the world with him, finances are mental, but do we just assume that? Because I was thinking the other day, if Salah's got this ambition to be what I think Mo Salah wants to be, can you do that in Saudi Arabia, or do you have to stay in Europe? Do you have to stay at Liverpool, Madrid, Barcelona, PSG to be the best player on the planet? Because I'm not sure anyone's ever really going to have that much eyes on the Saudi stuff.
No, he can never win the Ballon d'Or playing in Saudi Arabia and playing for Egypt. You know, because with the greatest respect, Messi's probably going to win the Ballon d'Or this year, isn't he? But that's from playing for Argentina at the World Cup. I don't see that Salah can win the World Cup, and I don't think that a club career can make that. So if that is any part of his motivation, which it will be, then it's over if he goes to Saudi Arabia, right? It's just hard to see Liverpool giving him another contract, or being able to give him another contract. He's got a year left after this one. It's hard to see that they'd let him run it down if there was that money on offer. I know they stood firm and were right to stand firm in the summer and resisted that urge to sell. It'd be harder to do it this time around if, you know, he's got 1 year left and he's going to leave for nothing, no matter how good his service is and no matter how good his performances have been. Yeah. So it is a more awkward situation, I think, coming to the end of this season. I'd be amazed if they let him go in the middle of the season. That would be wacky. In the extreme, actually, especially given the start Liverpool have had. They've had a good start to the season. They've put themselves in a position where they can go and compete for things so far. And
he's got AFCON in January as well, so that kind of is another thing where you've got to put that into the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Liverpool have put some pieces in place that, you know, they maybe need to be less reliant on him, or they maybe can field teams that are pretty well stocked in attack, but it's still not the same when Salah's not there. You know, look at Saturday, you know,
don't take him off.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, if his number had gone up with 20 minutes to go, I don't think anyone would have been that surprised, because he did. I thought he looked, one of the few times I've ever really seen him look, he'd looked distracted in the game. He looked like he wasn't fully in it. He was just a bit off the pace. He was, you know, I don't know what it was.
He made Michalenko look like Maldini.
He just had a poor game, didn't he? Just generally, and he wasn't influencing the game. But then look at it, you've won 2-0. I thought this, you know, I came back and I sort of had a conversation with a few of the lads on Sunday about Diaz, and I was saying, I wasn't sure about Diaz. I said, he just promises so much. And then you look at it and you go, well, actually got him sent off. He won the penalty.
Could have had another one.
He could have had another one. He's denied by a last gas challenge when he's clean through. You're like, actually, you know what? He's influenced the game big time, hasn't he? You know, sort of, you know, sometimes you can be tricked a little bit because you see you remember the moments that let you down, or the moments that it doesn't quite work out. But yeah, Diaz and Salah, you know, not at their best, if you like, in terms of everything that they did, but hugely influential. Salah continues to be hugely influential already. You know, what's it this season? 8 goals, 5 assists, is it?
It's a joke.
That is it. I mean, that should be the title of the segment, to be honest. Mo Salah is a joke.
He absolutely is.
I'd like to see Liverpool keep him as long as they possibly can. I don't think there's a sporting reason to get rid of him, but I think there might be a financial / you know, contractual reason to do it. What
he wants to do. Do you reckon these conversations are happening? Because I would like to think if Liverpool know they're about to A, lose one of the greatest players they've ever had, or B, there's a chance to keep him. Like, do you think this is happening behind the scenes? Obviously, Jörg Schmadtke's still here. There's talk that he's going to be here for a little bit longer. Is the Salah contract a thing? Do you think, is this even happening? Have you had any word about that? No. Or if not, are Liverpool, or are they in the market looking, all right, what are we going to do? Because they really should be. If that's
they will 100% have targets or players of interest, you know, that they think can play for Liverpool going forward, whether that's really young players who they're going to monitor and see how they develop, whether it's players who are I look at that and it is a pretty linear style that Liverpool have of players. You look at them, that they're not, there's not too many. Endo is probably one, and Thiago are probably the only two real sort of outliers in there where you go, oh, I didn't see that one, you know, that doesn't fit. They're just there off the chart over here somewhere. Everyone else is sort of, you know, certain age, certain type of pedigree, amount of games that they've played, and that kind of feeling of, can they go to the next level when they come to a club like Liverpool? You look at Diaz, Gakpo, Jota, Nunez, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, you know, a lot of players, Konate. There's a lot of a lot of hints there of how Liverpool operate in their business. So I would be amazed if they haven't got a lot of players of that ilk already in their sort of database or on their sites of, okay, which are the ones that style-wise fit perfectly, which are the ones that have got the contractual situation where you can get the deal, which are the ones that have got the sort of, maybe they've got a release clause, or maybe they've got a good relationship with an agent, things like that. There will be a lot of work going into for Liverpool to be ready to push the button on as and when required. And it might be one of those that we see them do a bit like they done with Mane, where they do it before he's left. They get the player in, give him 6 months. I'm just looking, you're Googling Jared Bowen, for example.
Googling Jared Bowen,
at this moment in time. I personally think that ship sailed with Liverpool.
I think it's going to be, I had to guess, I was just saying, I think it's going to be Neto from Wolves. There is a player.
There is a player, absolutely, 100% a player that you sit there and go, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Absolutely makes sense. Maybe it would be, in the past you'd have looked at a lot of players in the Bundesliga, younger wide players.
Musiala.
But like the Sané when he was younger, or Kingsley Coman or whoever. I think those type of players now are probably a little bit too established to sort of that end of their career. I think you're looking at the players who are right. Who's the one who's going to make the next step and become a player? Maybe someone like Doku might have been that kind of figure. He looks like he's a real good signer for City, doesn't he? Imagine someone like Martinelli was available at this stage. You'd be, wow, that would be a brilliant addition. But yeah, Liverpool would definitely have their position or those positions in mind. In terms of contract, I don't think there's anything particularly that I've heard anyway going on with a renewal. It would be so difficult to do it. It was so difficult to do the last one. He hasn't got any less important. He's got a bit older, no less important to Liverpool, and now you've got the added one of someone saying to you, what are they offering you a week? Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Do you want double that? That sort of that adds a further complication, doesn't it? I mean, because I think that was one of the reasons everyone sort of, when we had so much analysis of the Salah situation when he had 1 year left on his deal, and one of the questions was, well, where does he go? What's his move? Like Barca, no, couldn't afford him. He's not City, Chelsea, are they going to sign him? No. Paris Saint-Germain, does he want to go and play for PSG? With Mbappe there. Now the answer is he has got that card in his pocket, really, hasn't he? If that's what it is, that's what it is.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out that clip from Journo Insight. If you want to watch or listen to the entire episode, head on over to redmenplus.com now. Some great stuff on Salah, even more than we just spoke about there. Liverpool's win against Everton, what's coming in the future, the Toulouse game, Andy Robertson and his surgery, and loads more. Redmenplus.com. If you sign up as a monthly captain and use the code JOURNO, JOURNO, you'll get 50% off for your first 2 months. So yeah, head on over there and catch the entire show.
Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcast, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on redmenplus.com today.